Hello, Helen. Yeah, yes, there's a good crowd here. So that's just a guideline. I'll let you flow. If people ask you questions, we'll put here. Yeah. Okay. Yes, good. Teams are here. And this program okay. German, are you ready? DLI?
Try to figure out the sound system.
We can hear you very well. Hello, we can hear you very well. Yes, you are clear. Helen? Yeah, we can hear you very clearly. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear.
Oh, very good, Helen. So let me go around and test the systems. I start with Germany. If you can hear me, clap. Germany, can you hear me? Clap.
Okay.
I'm testing German. German, can you hear me? Clap. German, let's have the team in German clap. Clap, clap. German. No, only German. Okay, good. German can hear. Good. Let's test Helen.
Yes, please.
Okay, good. I can see Silvanos there.
Yeah.
Very good. And I'm missing that. I don't know that group there in the middle. That group in the middle. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm waiting for South Africa to come in. We will start. We are bang on time. I'll just make a very quick rundown of things, how they're going to run. In the room here, we've got David Dixon, one of the powerful investors, is right with us. We've got Felicitas. We've got myself and my dear, beautiful wife, Denise. And many others are linking online. They came too early at 6 p.m., so I told them, you're too early, come back at 6:45. So that's why, yes. South Africa will join us very soon. So first and foremost, what I'd like us to do is, if you can keep your noise behind at the minimum level, that would be perfect, so that you can let others listen. That would be wonderful. And the very first 40 minutes, what's going to happen? Hello? The very 40 minutes, what's going to happen is we might leave the meeting room and start again. Just coding the same number that you started with so that we continue the meeting. This is a trial version I'm using. I'm using the trial version. And if people like the system, we're going to go for the professional version so we don't have to shut down at 40 minutes. So after 40 minutes, we are going to shut down and come back again. Don't leave. This is awesome. It's wonderful today. I will start the ball rolling. Welcome to the Property Value Addition School. This is the second in the series, and it's bigger than the first one, which is fantastic. Today on the lineup, we have people in Germany, people in South Africa, we have people in England, and we've also got people within England, but in Manchester, and I think it's Luton, and London. So the crowd is building up slowly but surely, which is very good. I'm so pleased. Let me say this, first of all, what is my motivation as a person in doing this? It's to bring glory to God in sharing knowledge that He has given to me and the people I've met in life who are doing very well. Good things are worth sharing. If you're doing well, share with somebody. That makes a better life. This is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And today I'll talk about my own showcase, because somebody asked me, you yourself, what are you investing in and how are you making money? Because you bring other people, they talk about it. What about you? So I'll share a short story. Then we are going to go into the depth of the things. And David Dixon, who is a property investor for many years, is in the room. He will stand here after myself. So David, very welcome indeed.
Thank you, John.
David is a good friend of mine. We travel together in and out of England, particularly to Zambia, and many other doors that have opened. And yourselves, guys that have come on board, we travel together. But before I proceed, I want to make a few announcements. The very first announcement is the John Lukomala Scholarship Scheme for Entrepreneurship. That one is available for every single person worldwide. And so far it's going good. We are targeting 100 entrepreneurs. So far from last year, we have trained 36 of them, which is very good. So we want the balance to be completed by January next year. So if you know anybody out there, guys and ladies, who needs entrepreneurship development, we've got a scholarship scheme running here. So watch that space. We've got students in Uganda, and they join us online. Very, very good, and very, very clever, very talented, beautiful business ideas. We've also got the University Foundation courses for those people who want to go to university, but they haven't got much accreditation in their past life. So we have developed the course in the Westminster Open College. It's at level 3 and very affordable, only £3,600. Promotion next year is going to go up. And also the June conference. This is coming up wonderfully. It's the same platform where we do graduation for students. So you guys abroad, you're going to come over to the UK in June. I'm sure you're going to pass your examinations under Westminster Open College. So those are the few announcements I wanted to make. And the other one is coming from German. I'm going to give German good 10 minutes. German, can you give us your announcements? DLI, are you ready?
Hello, good evening. We ready, more than ready for everybody online. This learning YouTube or DLI broadcast in Germany, Hamburg, where our headquarters are. If I look more at people DLI or the learning YouTube, we can keep here and by on my right side.
I'm Selina Wilman. I'm the Public Relations Manager of CLI.
Also on the deputy for the 11th program. And also,
oh, great team there. Good. Good in time.
Where are they, John?
They're in German.
Germany.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Lucas Shelby, the Administrative Secretary of the Way-Method Business here in Canada.
Excellent.
now, according to the way I picked you, Doc,
The announcements, please.
to give some introduction, or we got to go into the nitty-gritty of what we give today.
The announcement, yes. What are you offering? What's on the table? What are you offering?
DLI offers quite a lot of diverse programs with partner colleges and universities across the world. Part of the program, of course, we've got the West Midlands Open College. We collaborate in many areas. We've got the Atlantic International University in Hawaii, United States. We've got Slovak University in Ukraine. We've got Lazar University as well in Poland. Now, we've got a huge number of programs, but this time we are here on air to promote what we feel that the world should know, that there's something happening in Germany, and they should target our institute. When it comes to A levels, we have introduced the advanced levels for university foundation programs. It's a requisite to do your bachelor at any university all over the world. That's why Germany is so special. One, we are linking up with the Cambridge University to be a center of the A-level programs, and we commencing our programs in November this year. On Monday next week, we're receiving a team from Cambridge University to launch the program. Now getting back to the A-level, why do you have to opt to come and study with diverse learning institutes? One, you only going to pay for the A-level studies that you can pursue for a period of 2 years. Thereafter 2 years, we secondly or we take you to the German universities according and pursue the program that you have to pursue at degree level. We also speak about the German degree.
I'm missing most of this language. Can you turn it up?
A free, almost free education.
Yes.
As they say, most of you people are you based in England, the US, and Australia and stuff.
German events.
That's a program that you are able to study in any other country.
Speak slowly.
The
Lower the
program
microphone, Johnny.
Yes.
you pass away with quite a lot of money as the tuition fees and
Hello?
average £100,000. Hello?
Slowly, speak slowly, and speak up a bit louder.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. Yes. Continue. Tell us what you're offering on A levels and how people can come into you and what are the fees.
Very good. Yes, we offering double streams. We've got the science stream, of course, usual subjects, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, and the language. Then in the arts, humanities, we've got English language, we've got economics, we've got business studies, we've got IT as well. So the main important point that I'm trying to stress, or we are trying to stress as a team is that just come and study our A levels. Then we need you or your children or your relatives to almost free university bachelors. Why free? Not that they compromise with the standards.
Okay. Can I ask you a question, Ms. DLI? So you are offering A levels. People can come over to German.
Once more, please.
People can come over to German from other countries
Definitely.
to study A levels.
If anything, normally German has had a system of A levels called Abitur, which is going to pursue
Okay.
German language.
Okay.
But we are with the countries because they are going to pursue them in English. That's why we are targeting mostly the foreign applicants.
Okay, now, okay, understand that. So they can come to German and study A levels. After A levels, how much should they pay for university degrees?
You pay an average of maximum, let me just say, maximum of about $500.
Okay, that's very good. So people can travel from other countries to your institution to study A levels, and they can progress to a degree which is cheaper.
Yes.
Okay, very good. It's
At a
very,
German university, the maximum tuition fees for a state-run university is like 500 euros per semester. And if you study, for example, at some universities, especially in East Germany, you sometimes only pay about 70 euros per semester.
okay.
It really depends on what university you study at, but the maximum is really about 500. Unless you go to the private university, which is
So it's almost free.
essentially, yeah.
Almost free. So 70 euros or 500 pounds. Is that okay?
Euros.
Is it in euros?
It's in euros.
Very
yes.
good.
And
Okay, very
also, in those 500 euros, also includes something called a semester ticket, which means that if you study here in Hamburg, you can use all public transport in Hamburg for free. That's included in those 100. It's about 300 per semester.
Okay, very
If you
good.
go to university in Hanover, which is in Lower Saxony, you're free to use all local trains in all of Lower Saxony with your semester ticket, which is included in your tuition fee.
Okay, very good. So how can somebody contact you?
Excuse me?
How can somebody contact you? You're going to send them all your details?
The email address, which is BLI dash Germany dot Germany. BLI dot Germany at Yahoo.
The B.
That's the
Okay, thank you. I'll send a link to the team. Those who want to get in touch, you can refer people who think can go and do A levels in Germany and do your degree. Thank you very much, Germany.
You're welcome.
Indeed. So stay in. Now let me go to the topic of today, my motivation for investment. Investment as the word typify, is something that either time or money you set aside for future gain. There's an adage, they say that you invest for a rainy day. Rainy day, rain is very good. Don't you like rain? Yes, because of the crops. But why do they say invest for a rainy day, save for a rainy day?
When the business is crumbling.
Business is crumbling. What a word. When there's water, we must rejoice because plants are going to grow. Now, today, what I want to do is, I want to ask each one of you, what is property? What is property? Can you write your own answer on the piece of paper? What is property? Anybody can tell me what property is?
It's a roof over your head.
Oh, David says a roof over your? Anybody else? Yes?
Property to me means any possession of an individual. That's your property.
Any possession of an individual. Do you own anything? Say yes, you must own something. Do you own anything? Yes.
Even your dresses.
Hello people online, do you own anything? Helen, do you own anything? Do you have anything that you own, which you call yours?
Yes.
So you are an investor in property. How my wife is smiling. Do you own anything, my wife? Says yes. So we are all investors in property. The best thing that you have as a property that you are born with, touch your head. Everybody, touch your head. This is the biggest property you have. Equal opportunities is right here. And contested. When you are born in this earth, you came with a mind.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's a dwelling, a roof over your head, which I call luxury. Because people in the Amazon, they live in trees. But you can say also they own a tree in which they sleep. Now, if you didn't know that you own something, would you know what a liability is or an asset? Let's talk about this thing now. Which of these two things are a liability? Your time or your mind? Which of these two things are a liability? I've got an accountant. Mr. Silvanus, you're an accountant. Assets and liability. Between these two things, your mind and time, which of these is the biggest liability?
Well, I would probably say mind is actually an asset, which you can use to
No,
make
your mind is an asset. You saw my notes. Look at accountants, David. It's written in my script. Your mind is an asset. Okay. Let's also define then what is an asset and what is a liability. Anybody? What's an asset? What's a liability?
An asset, sorry, can I say?
What's an asset?
An asset is basically what you own. Then it can be short term or long term. And the liability basically is what you own. Again, it can be short term or long term.
Silvanus. I know somebody who has a Bentley. This thing is taking his money away. He owns the Bentley, it is Bentley, but the guy is out of pocket. He's taking too much fuel, too much insurance. The guy is almost begging me for a penny. Is that an asset?
Liability.
It is a liability. So let's redefine. An asset is anything which adds value or finance to your life. And I want us to think in those terms. An asset is anything which adds value or time or finance to your life. It could be a human being, it could be a motor vehicle. As long as it is adding some pennies or some value to your life, it's an asset.
Yes.
Equally, a liability is anything that is taking value away from you, finance away from you, anything good from you, it's taking away. That is a liability. So as an investor, a property investor, we must know these basic foundations. Now I want to ask anybody here, because I'm about to share my story before I call David Dixon here. Anybody in England or in South Africa or in Germany who slept outside their house? Raise your hand. Last night you slept outside your house on the street. German?
Hello?
Did you sleep outside your house?
You know, Sophia, now, when you say again,
Did you sleep outside your houses or inside?
sleeping.
Yes. You are shocked. So you are property investors. Follow me now. Follow me now. Here's another question. How many of you live in your own homes and one of your rooms is full of bugs and bugs? Bugs as in little insects, bugs as in bugs. I've got a lawyer in the room here. She's shaking her head. How many of you have got a house that they've just piled stuff in that room? Raise your hand. Yeah, I've got one here. Anybody in Germany?
Come again, sir.
Helen, have you got a room in your house in which you've put stuff they're not using? It is just stuck with stuff you're not using.
Yeah, I have a room that I don't use.
Oh, so I've got business to do tonight. Let's clap. Come on, everybody. Yeah. So you are property investors. So now, I want today to open your mind and show that actually you could be making at least £3,000 in every 6 months based on what you have. Property investments, like an adage, they say the journey of 1,000 starts with what?
1 month, one step.
One step. How many of you want to start making money just where you are and with what you've got in terms of property? How many of you would like to do that? Yeah, I'd like to do that. So I want to show you that the house where you live in now can start making a difference to you financially. If you don't have your own house, begin to plan, and in the second part you see how you can start your own investment in property. It's so easy. I'll show you now. The world has changed so much. Can you see here on this board?
Not clearly.
Not clearly. Okay, I'll leave that one alone. The world has changed so much. It has become a global village, and it's truly a global village. Your property, where you are, if you realize that you're an investor, you can start making residual income. Do you know what residual income is? Anybody? Do you know what residual income or passive income? Anybody who knows passive income?
Maybe passive income is using what is around you to gain what you want.
Okay, I like that one. Passive income is simply money that is coming to you without being present. You're not working for it. Yes. Without you being present, it's just coming to you. Okay? Are you happy to hear that? Now, I want to show you in the next 10 minutes how you can start making money with the current property which you have. And if you don't have a property, begin to plan to have one in the next 12 months, because you're missing out on what's happening out there in the world. People are making money every single day. Anybody who knows what space is? Space. Space. Do you know what space is? A space in your house, a space in your garage, a space... Sorry?
Space, garden, space in the room.
Yes. How many of you have got access to any space? Yes? David? Yes. All right, very good. How many of you are making money in that space? Yes. Okay, very few. Now, I want us to look at this next section. And what you want to make money? Yes, Helen wants to make money. J-Man, do you want to make money?
Yes, please.
Very good. Silvanos, do you want to make money?
Yes, of course, yes.
Fantastic. So if you want to make money, don't go away. I'm just going to close the meeting and reopen it again for the second part in 2 seconds only. Are you ready for this? Don't go away. Punch in the same number.
Yes.
The same number you punched in to come in, punch it in again, okay? I'm going to end the meeting and then we start again. The same number. They will get ready now. I'll be finishing in 10 minutes. If I like in the system, I'm going to now buy that profession which keeps you going in as many hours as you can. I don't want to spend money on something people won't like. So you should start making big money now. She's a lawyer by profession. Yeah. Oh, welcome back. Yeah, now this is what happens. You can start letting your rooms. I've been in this business now for 12 months. Hello, everybody. Everyone's coming. Oh, let me wait for Helen. Helen's coming. Shall we wait for Helen? Oh, she's come back here. I've been and my wife in this business for 12 months now. Once upon a time, David came to my house. Is that South Africa?
Yes, yes,
Ah, ubelenya pi. South Africa is here. You missed the first part. You went too long. Wonderful. So we are now on the second part. How you can make money in the space that you have. This is a worldwide business. David, next time we go to Zambia, we are going to live in these apartments. It's beautiful. We are members of it now because of you. You everywhere. Now, people in South Africa have just joined us. How can you start making big money with the space that you have already? Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with what? A step. My lawyer says a step. So we are at a place where we're looking at how you can leverage the property that you have to build a property portfolio of mega proportion. And I'll call David the second part. He's going to talk to us on how he's done this. But before we go there, I am making money in my one space. I've multiplied the space, it's now 2. And I want to see as many people in our community multiply. Hello, German, we can see you, yes? Multiply this income. Multiply this income. Hello?
Yeah, sorry for interrupting, Doc. Do we still have some time to present or to answer one or two questions?
Yes, yes. After the meeting, after they present, there are other presenters. They will be, don't leave. You need to answer some questions. South Africa has just come. So there's so many, after this presentation, there will be question and answer. I want everyone to present. You presented yours. Let me finish mine. Let me finish his. Then ask questions. Yeah? Is it clear?
yes.
Very good, yes. So, the world is moving forward and I want people to be alert and start making money in every space. Why do we need to do this? So that our communities are affluent and we are able to do things better. The space that you have now, you can actually let it out to the whole world. If in your house you've got 4 bedrooms, one of the bedrooms you just put rubbish. Anything rubbish, you put it in there. When guests come, that's when you sweep it nicely, you put a small bed, they sleep. You are missing out. You are missing what? Out. So you need to start making some money out of that space. How does it work? Can you see this space? It's fenced, but these are rooms, right? If your house is a 3-bedroom and you live in this room, you can let out here for some dollars. These two, you can let them out for some dollars. Very simple and straightforward. Now, because of this, you begin to earn passive income. Then it frees you from running up and down, chasing small pennies while you have an asset with you. And if you have excess money, then you can also do corporate social responsibility to your community. You are the investor. The excess money you give away to help the poor. Jesus Christ in the Bible says the poor will always be with you. But if you're among the people who have used this asset properly and you're making it, you can help the poor to come out of poverty by helping them with education, like I'm doing. Poverty alleviation. You can no longer wait for governments. You are the real passion for nation development. Are you happy to hear that? Now, how does it work? Simple and straightforward. There are links on the website, and all of you, those who are interested, anybody interested to receive the link? But, or every single one of you, I'll send you the link. Explore it. You can list your property for $0 fee, and you begin to make easy money. David Dixon, who came here, he measured my property. He said, "John, you're sitting on gold." He said, "John, you're sitting on gold." He went through all our properties. He said, "Wow." And I just wanted to make a trial. I listed my property not wanting to list it, just to make a trial to see if it works. It was fully booked. And I began running up and down, saying, "Oh my wife, people are coming." Now we make at least $3 grand for one space. We doubled up now, we let out some few rooms now. So this is where you as an investor can start from by looking at what property you have. The first property is, touch your head. This is your first property because it brings value to your life, therefore it's an asset. Your car is never an asset. It's a liability. Only if you are using it in business like David and Felicitas and myself. Right! Now, let me lead you to the next section. Your own space, in your own room, in your own house, you can start making money. And I'll send you a link, explore it, have a look at it, then email me and talk to me. We start making big cash. We're gonna fly and make nations tick. Poverty must run away. Especially you guys living abroad, away from your home countries in Africa, or you're still in Africa. You've got to get up and make things happen. Stop begging. Begin to supply. So I'll send you the link. Now the next part is, how can you buy your own property without money? I don't think those people buy property use their own money. If you're using your own money, then you're suffering. So, David, am I wrong?
It depends on the cost of money.
Yes, depends on the cost of money. But mostly, the large part of money doesn't come from you. So at this point in time, I'd like to invite you, save your questions. After David presents, we're going to open up for questions, okay? Allow me at this point in time to invite my dear friend David Dixon. Big hands.
Thank you, John.
Yes.
Here I am.
Yeah, David, this is your podium.
Thank you.
So, can you see David?
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening, David.
Good evening. I want to talk about property investment and making money, in particular from houses. There's lots of types of property. There's shops and stores and schools, but we're talking tonight about making money as an investor in property. And what I want to talk about is housing, because everybody needs somewhere to live. So I'm going to write on the board here some big words, but they're important words because this is the most profitable way that I've found of making money with property. So these words are, we summarise them as H,
yeah, right, very big there, yeah.
M, O. Does anybody know what HMO means?
There is, yeah, probably. So,
Sorry?
after you write, you stand aside so they can see.
Yeah.
That's it.
HMO. I'll write the definition it down. House in multiple occupation. And I'll put here a short way of expressing it. So we're talking about a house in multiple occupation, okay? HMO. And that's the legal name in the UK for the type of property I'm suggesting you look at first by way of investment. You can invest in houses and bungalows and palaces, in sheds, in garages, but the way to make money, I've found, the way to make money I've found is in houses of multiple occupation, HMO. And another way of expressing that is multi-let. When you let, you're renting the property, and multi means many of them. So typically, in the town where I live, I buy houses with 3 levels, what we call townhouses. And on 3 levels, I'll put 2 bedrooms on each level, plus a living room on the ground floor. And what I've discovered is that lots of people want their own bedroom, and in particular they want their own bathroom if they can have it. They don't mind sharing a kitchen, they'll even share a living room, and of course they're willing to share the internet connection. But they want their own bedroom and they want their own bathroom if possible. So this attracts good quality people, professional people who can pay the rent and are able to live a peaceful life because they get good salaries. So this is what I'm talking about, houses in multiple occupation. Have you any questions on that?
Any questions?
So what do I mean by an HMO? Tell me, answer me the question. What's an HMO?
House in multiple occupation.
Thank you. And a short way of describing that long definition is what? How do you say it shortly?
Multi-let.
A multi-let, that's correct, a multi-let. So this is what we're talking about. And normally, in a country like UK, you're allowed to put 6 bedrooms in a house, three high. More than that, it becomes a block of flats, an apartment block, and that's a completely different statutory requirement. So a block of flats has to have fire escapes and all sorts of other complications, whereas a house, an HMO, up to 6 bedrooms, is a normal domestic dwelling. And the law is much more easy on that situation. You can imagine if there's 10 units in a place, then you've got to have a lot more safety measures for 10 people. The biggest danger when people live together in a large number is fire. You know, we've had some horrendous fires in the UK. The most famous one last year was Grenfell, the Grenfell Tower in London. Remember, it went up in flames? The problem arises when lots of people live in the same building. And so the law in Britain says up to 6 units, up to 6 people, a domestic dwelling. That's simple. Beyond that, you've got to have special measures for safety purposes. And so I've restricted my developments to 6 units per dwelling, 6 units per house. A unit is for 1 person. And these are for professional. These are ones that I do are professional people. So typically they're young people leaving university perhaps, coming into a town, first jobs, and they're software programmers, they're electronics technicians, they're technical people, they may be school teachers, they may be nurses, but professional people. And with those people, you're safe, much more safe, because they're educated, they can speak properly, and they can obey the law with you, and you ask them to be careful. So that's what I do. I go for professional tenants, professional people, and because they've got jobs and because they're in good jobs, they can easily pay the rent. So that's my suggestion that you do to start with. Don't try for houses for the poor, for example. I know it's nice to be able to accommodate the poor, and I have 2 places where I do accommodate poor people. But the places where I make my living are for professional people who can afford to pay a good rent. So that's what I'm suggesting to you if you want to go into property investment. Now, how to start? Well, most people, a lot of people, have a spare room. So they're living in a 3-bedroom house, for example, and they only need 2 bedrooms. The 3rd bedroom is free. Often they just pile it with rubbish, with junk, and it's a waste. But that room is a great resource, and they're missing out on the opportunity to bring in a good rent. A room like that, around here where we're speaking, a room like that might fetch £350 per month in rent.
That's right.
Which is a very useful income to have. Just for 1 room. If you have 2 rooms, then you're talking about £700 a month, which is wonderful. Yeah. It pays for the cost of holding that house.
That's right.
So it's a great recommendation for your investment to have a house in multiple occupation, because each room will fetch, say, £350. I have places which are bigger, where each room has its own bathroom, where I'm getting £450 a month. And if you can afford to make that investment to begin with, to build all those bathrooms so that everybody has their own bathroom, then you'll get more back in return. So it's a good business to have. Any more questions on what we've just said?
Any more questions? Any more questions?
My question is, how can I deal with property when I don't have money? Apart from renting house, my first house.
What's that, John?
How can I buy property without money?
Well, you can borrow money, of course. That's the only way. If you've got no money of your own, then you have to borrow it from a bank. And that depends upon your ability to satisfy the bank. The bank is lending you the money with good security. That depends upon your standing with the bank and the job that you have. So yes, you have to use bank money if you don't have your own money. Or another investor. There are people, there are plenty of people, actually, a surprising number of people, who have the ability to buy a house or part of a house with another person. So you might be able to bring 3 people together to find the money. And of course, obviously, they want a return on that money. So because you represent quite a high risk as starting off, then they probably want to see a return of, say, 10% on their money. Maybe more, depends upon the economic climate that you live in.
So, David, is that the same as joint venture?
Yes, you could say it's a joint venture. It's where people come together jointly. Yes.
Yes. So that can also leverage in terms of your credit rating, isn't it? Credit rating, does it affect in terms of buy-to-let? Does it affect your ability to borrow if your credit rating is not good as a person?
Yeah. Please.
If the company is created,
Yes.
and then the company is going to buy that house.
Yes.
So every member, and it's a joint property
Yes.
business. So every member there,
Yes.
you're working as the company. It's
Yes.
not your personal company, so they cannot credit check you.
Yes.
They credit check that company, and if that company is found liable to be able to acquire that property,
Yes.
then they can go in for it. That's my opinion.
Yes, thank you.
So there is hope. Did you hear that answer? Joint venture with others and create a company.
And the lady's talking about a joint venture by creating a new limited liability company in which everybody invests their money.
Yeah. South Africa, how is the scenario? Do you have mortgages over there?
We are good. We are following.
Any questions on buying property? How do you buy property in South Africa?
Well, unfortunately, in South Africa, we are sitting on a disadvantaged situation, but I think seminars of this nature in terms of the issue that you have, once you are told that
It's frozen. It's the internet. The internet. Okay, we'll catch up. South Africa is frozen. Okay, I think there's opportunity here with partner. Another question? German, do you have a question? Okay, David, continue. How much money do you make? How much money would you make in this state?
I make around £10,000 a month.
Wow. Did you hear that?
£10,000 in a month in his own property.
£10,000
Yes.
a month for 4 houses. So each house is generating around £2,500 per month. Of course, there are some costs. If you have a big mortgage, then that takes the money away. But you can usually make at least, even after paying all the costs, you should be able to make at least £1,000 a month from each house, which is fantastic.
Excuse me, David.
Yes, please.
Yes, is that the starting? What my question is, towards starting a business. For example, 10,000, 1,000 is at your level now. What, according to your advice, can be started with to get a house?
1 room.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 1 room.
1 room.
1 room. If you already have the house and it's 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, then that room is going to bring you £350 a month, and the cost of running it is very, very little again, because you're already buying the electricity for the house, for the heating, for example. So for 1 room, the costs are very, very low indeed.
Did you hear that? I want to start people to start thinking investment from where you are at now, within your house. Yes. German, did you hear that, German? Yes, it has broken.
Yes.
South Africa, did you hear that? Hello, South Africa? They're frozen. They're still frozen in space.
Is it Germany?
That's Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton, Ellen?
Yes, please.
So the point is here for everybody. Let's start the journey of investing in property from where you are. Start with the space in your own house. Do not waste space in your own house. in terms of buying property, if you can't afford by yourself, borrow from a bank or get other people involved with you, but be willing to have lesser shares because of your credit rating or risk. So don't be afraid, let's start to invest now. Either renting space in your own house, and I'm going to send you a link how this is done, and I'm going to coach some people because we are making ourselves at least £800 a month renting some of the space we have.
Yeah.
And we are marching on to acquire an independent property and more properties as a team. So we want...
You promised to send us the link, sir.
I will. After the meeting, I will.
Okay.
Fantastic. Jean-Claude.
Mr. Jean, are you cooking for us?
He's cooking. He forgot he's in the meeting. Jean-Claude, can you give us some tea as well? So, questions? South Africa.
Yes, sir.
You had a question. You got frozen. Continue.
Yes.
They can't see. They can't see.
The issue is, based on the residents and citizens of South Africa, obviously, each and every member in the respective country, they have a better picture and understanding of their country. How can we leverage this opportunity here when we have opportunity here in the country and we want to look at with other property investors from other countries? Can this forum assist in that?
That's a good question. Yes, the answer is...
Could you repeat the question, John, please?
Yeah. He's saying that opportunities where they are in South Africa and opportunities here in the UK, can we assist in any way to create further opportunities in South Africa for them to do what we do here?
Well, that's something I heard him say.
Please.
Yes. He said one of their mishaps back in South Africa is that their houses are not numbered the way our houses are numbered over here.
Yeah.
And as a result, they might not find it easy to manage those type of properties. And so they're trying to find out how, without numbers, without proper addresses, how they can be able to acquire and manage properties.
Yeah.
Well, it's still an asset, whether there's no number or not, it's still an asset.
Yes.
And once people have found the asset, it might be difficult, it might take a few more minutes to find it.
Yeah.
Because you've got to ask strangers,
Yes.
where is this place? But once you've found it, you know where it is, and you go from
Yes.
there.
Another answer to that the South Africa team, you can become creative. Do you have a business center in South Africa? Yes. So a tenant that's coming to your property, give them your office address. Let them come to your office address, then book a cab, take them to your property.
Yeah.
Maybe our question was not purely okay.
Okay.
What about it's not about the physical addresses that we refer to, because all our houses, they've got the physical address.
Okay.
But it's about, in terms of saying how then do we leverage, or how best can we have some synergies between you guys and us here, because the